Hey everyone, today I'm going to sift through this old junk basket to see if anything can be repurposed into an antenna. Here we go, an old car horn. This looks like the perfect starting point. As you can see on the screen, this piece is a bit dusty. Before repurposing it, I'll give it a good clean with some multi-purpose oil to make sure everything's ready. While I'm scrubbing it, let me give you a brief overview of this car horn. It's an electric device mounted on vehicles to produce a warning sound, enhancing safety on the road. Its sturdy metal casing protects the internal mechanism, while the circuitry and diaphragm create a distinct sound loud enough to be noticed. This car horn isn't just a simple mechanical object. It's a testament to practical and durable design. Repurposing it gives new value to something that might otherwise be discarded. I think that's enough scrubbing. Now, let's move on to drying it off with a cloth. I'm going to adjust the metal piece attached to the back of the electric whistle. Though I'm not exactly sure what it's called, it's the part that secures the whistle inside the vehicle. The goal is to position these two metal pieces in opposite directions, making it easier for the next step. If you know what it's actually called, drop a comment below and let me know. For the next step, I've got 2 spark plugs ready, along with 2 metal washers and 2 bolts. To secure the spark plug onto the metal part of the car horn, I'll first remove the cap that contacts the spark plug. Then attach the threaded end. Place the metal washer on top, and finally tighten the bolt onto the threaded end. I'll do the same with the second spark plug on the other metal piece of the car horn. Once everything is assembled, I'll tighten it a bit more with pliers to make sure the structure is solid and won't come loose, especially since the parts might experience stress or vibration. So, the car horn assembly with the 2 spark plugs is all set. Now, let's move on to the next step, creating the base for the antenna. First, I'll secure the cylindrical piece of wood, standing it upright on the surface of a rectangular wooden board, using hot glue to make sure it's firm and stable. Next, I'll secure the car horn assembly on top of the cylindrical piece of wood. Just like before, I'll use hot glue again to secure everything. If you've watched this far and found it interesting, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. The hot glue has set, and the structure is very solid. Now, we can move on to the next step. I'm going to connect any 2 ends of these wires to the terminals on the car horn. To prevent the connection from shorting out, I'll use a piece of heat shrink tubing. The process is simple. Slide it over the connection and apply heat, securing the joint and ensuring safety. What I mean is, I'll connect the other ends of these 2 wires directly to these 2 terminals on this side of the 2-wire connector. Once the connections are complete, I'll secure the connector onto the surface of the wooden board with hot glue. Next, I prepared a cable to connect our homemade antenna to the TV. We start by connecting one end of the antenna cable to the remaining 2 terminals on the connector. You can follow the way I connect the wires right on the video screen to see each step clearly and in detail. So, one end of the cable is done. For the other end, I'll connect it directly to a straight F connector and a 90-degree F connector to hook up to the TV. So, I've finished a complete homemade antenna setup with the connection cable ready to use. Stay tuned to see how it performs. At the moment, this TV hasn't been connected to the homemade antenna yet. And the screen is still showing no signal, which means we need to hook up the antenna and run the test. Within just 3 seconds, the TV powered up with a picture. Now, let's wait a moment to see if the signal stays stable. To keep it credible, I'll step around to the back of the TV, disconnect the cable, and plug it back in to show clearly that the device is actually working. The TV kept working perfectly even after I unplugged and reconnected it, proving that this homemade antenna is both practical and reliable. We've managed to turn a few discarded items into something simple yet surprisingly effective, giving us a truly valuable and exciting hands-on experience. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share it widely with your friends to support me in creating more.